Fugue is a new module for VCV Rack. It takes one melody and turns it into three and lets them wander apart. Let's take a look. Here is Fugue at the top left. You can see that it's got control over root, scales, steps, and slew. And it's got a simple sequence manager here. This is, you just choose the pitches that you want for each of these different steps. And then below this, we've got a gate sequencer, so you can turn each of those steps on and off for each of the playheads. And then below that, you've got clock in for A, B, and C, and control over this wander characteristic, which we'll talk about quite a bit here. And then outputs for gate and CV. So right now, this is being connected to three very similar traditional VCO to VCA with a little bit of reverb at the end. But let's hit play and see what happens here. So when we start with wander at 0, we're getting the same sequence on all three of the playheads. And so we hear right now only A is active, but if we turn on B, we're hearing the same notes played out on both of those. We can bring up wander. Let's bring it up to about 20%. And so what we hear is additional notes start to come in on the B sequence. And so Fugue is attempting to find notes that are harmonically related to the primary sequence here, or specifically to the note that's being played on each of the other steps, playhead at the same time. And so if we keep going up here, we'll get a wider set of notes coming in and an increased likelihood of variability into the sequence. If we go all the way to the top, we get chromatic, lots of different stuff coming in, which can be useful. Let's bring that back down a little bit here to about 30. And let's enable sequence 3, player 3. So now this is playing essentially unison with A because it's still at 0, but let's bring that up. So now we're getting three sequences that are each playing slightly different variations of themselves and attempting to stay in some meaningful order. So you get some chords, you get some different play throughs together. Let's bring the steps up here to 5. It's a fun number. And we can start by removing some of these gates. And now we'll just get, of course, playback here on A and C at steps 4 and 5, but not on B. And things get a lot more fun when we start bringing in different clocks into each of these. And so let's take a look at clock 2 is currently set to 2x1. So let's bring that into B. So now we have a faster repetition of the same pattern. And let's bring a slower clock in here on step 3. Maybe down to every other clock from A. Let's use here a stepped random to control the wander on playhead B. So now this is getting fed a unipolar output from this random. So we get some interesting changes coming in there. And you can have all three wander. So we've been leaving A to be sort of the primary, but if we move that one up, then we get a lot of additional variation in the sequence that can come. And I think this gets really interesting when you move this closer and closer towards the original sequence, and you get variation that sort of starts to find sort of repetition and find a pattern as it comes down on the wander scale. Just a few other things before I close out. The right menu has a couple things. You can change the fader range for each of these, and you can also disable Harmonic Lock. This will remove the attempt to create musically related notes at each of those steps and let you hear some more wild variation. And you can also just completely randomize the sequence here. So nice fun way to bring in some variation there quickly during a performance. And that is Fugue. Check it out. Download it for free today at VCV Rack and enjoy.